Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, November 14th, 2016. What's going on? How are you? My voice is a little messed up here because, I've been traveling. I've been taking my vitamins, as they say over in Europe, oregano, vitamins, tomatoes, basil. I don't understand why with ingredients, everything else we pretty much pronounce the same as fucking Great Britain. But when it comes to spices, everything is different. We say oregano, we say basil, they say oregano, basil, whatever the fuck they say, tomato, vitamins. The only time I really experienced that in the United States is we say Carnegie and Pittsburgh says Carnegie. Bill, what are you talking about? I don't fucking know. I just got off a goddamn plane, and I watched all the football on the way out. Oh, my God. Underrated. Flying on football fucking Sunday when there was 2 fucking games back-to-back with 7 fucking lead changes. The boring NFL with their ratings down. How great was Sunday? It's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing, man. That Dallas-Pittsburgh game was incredible. And the Pittsburgh-Seattle game was great. And I know a lot of people would think like the thing I was most upset about? It wasn't the final score. It wasn't the lack of a call on the last play with Gronk. It was the Tom Brady picture. What the fuck was that? With his hand on his hip and his other hand up underneath his jaw. What in the fuck was that? That's what happens when you date a supermodel. She's in his goddamn ear just being like, Tom, you're just standing there like everybody else. You need to establish your brand. Have fun with it. Be a little sassy. Yes, you're probably not going to hear this from a lot of Patriots fans, but I love the no call at the end of the fucking game. I'm forever sticking up for cornerbacks in the NFL when it comes to their right to be there to try and prevent a score. You know how this all started. Old Jim Irsay out there in Indianapolis couldn't beat the Patriots defense, so he's the one that created the whole, hey, the cornerback can't even look at the receiver past 5 fucking yards, So I love the no call. I thought Gronk did that thing where he ran right into him. He didn't quite push off, but it was one of those gray area things. You usually get a call on that. I feel like 70% of the time, I'll just throw that stat out there. I don't read, right? I love the no call. I wish that they would do that more. But other than that, it was just a great fucking game. And I liked it, too, because Seattle kind of just played the game rather than doing all that peacocking around every time they do something. There was one guy, that fat guy, the nose tackle for Seattle. I was fucking dying laughing on the plane. That first drive the Patriots had where they just went right down the field and gave him the old right there, Fred. Every fucking play was positive yardage except for one. So we had like 6-7 plays in a row where we're just crushing it. 15 yards, 10 yards, 8 yards, 20 yards, right down the field. If you judged the game on that first fucking drive, you'd be like, oh my God, this is going to be a fucking landslide, right? And then one play, I think they handed it off to like LeGarrette Blount, and he just runs in to the offensive line for no gain, and that fat dude stands up and he wags a finger like Mutombo over at Belichick and the Patriots bench. Hey, all those other plays are going to work, but not that one. Don't try that one. It's the funniest shit ever to me. But, it was an amazing game. And I actually liked the fact that we lost to him. Even though they didn't have Bennett, they were kind of hurt, and we still lost to him. And it was in our house, Did I just say our house? I'm sorry. It was in our stadium. That didn't bug me because if we meet him again in the playoffs, I'd rather have lost the regular season game. They always say that shit like, you always learn more during a loss. I liked way better losing, I think the biggest thing that fucked the 2007 Patriots, undefeated regular season Patriots, was the fact that we were undefeated. Also, Spygate. Everyone was just rooting against us. I would have loved it so much more if we went into the playoffs 14-2 or 15-1, just to, so everybody didn't have such a chip on their shoulder to fucking play you. I can't even remember why the fuck I just made that point. Oh, I know why. Because I've seen so many times, like, it's like you beat them in the regular season and then they see you a month or two later and then they come back and beat you. Giants did that to us. The Jets did it to us. We beat them first. No, they beat us first. Then we destroyed them at home. And then a month later, they beat us in the playoffs. And it's just kind of how it goes. So I'm all right with it. I'm still not too thrilled with our defense. And can somebody, by the way, for the love of fucking God, and I don't want to hear this from a fan, I need it from a football coach. Can somebody explain to me the prevent defense? I know I've asked this before, but for the love of God, can somebody please explain to me? At the half, the Patriots score a touchdown. We're playing with these guys. We're covering them. They're not getting any big plays. We completely abandoned that. There's 59 seconds to go in the half. We completely fucking abandoned that. We start playing a zone defense. Or maybe we were playing zone up until then. I don't know. Whatever the fuck we were doing was working. We were in a zone defense, giving them a 20-yard cushion. Basically, you concede a field goal. Okay? And we just, in 59 seconds, these fucking guys, 7 plays, 75 yards in 59 fucking seconds. And the last play for the touchdown, watching that wide receiver going from one zone of the defense to another, you know what he looked like? You ever see when a fan just runs out on the field and he's just running by players and they're just looking at him? You know what I mean? Because it's, oh, that's a fan. Security will handle that. This fucking guy, because of the prevent defense, was standing by himself like a yard out from the end zone, if not on the end zone line, waving his fucking arms. I mean, he might as well have been dressed in street clothes. The level of, like, non-coverage that is. And I understand the concept behind the prevent defense. This is basically, we'll give up the middle of the field, we'll protect the sideline, and they'll make completions, we'll tackle them, and then they're going to somehow eat up this 59 fucking seconds. It never happens. I swear to God, I think it's a conspiracy. It's a business move by the NFL. It's to increase scoring / add to the drama. If another team is only up by one fucking score and the other team goes into a prevent, the game is going to end with 3 or 4 shots at the end zone, or they're going to kick a field goal to try and win it. It just doesn't fucking work. And you know what's funny? So we go into the fucking prevent and they go right down the field, give us the old right there, Fred, score a fucking touchdown. All right? Very deflating, no pun intended, for the Patriots as we go into the locker room. All right, now we got to kick off to Seattle. We kick off to Seattle. We play defense. They go 3 and out. It's like, why the fuck didn't we do that before the half? Sorry. Half of this is emotion. The other half is I smoked 2 cigars 2 nights in a row, which I can't fucking do. I don't understand that on any fucking level. I also don't understand when the end of the game, Seattle scores a touchdown. They go up by 7 points. Why wouldn't you just kick an extra point, go up by 8? You're acting like a 2-point conversion is a done deal, which we saw when Seattle went to go for it and didn't get it, right? Am I nuts there? Because I kind of looked away from the screen. They went for 2 there, right? And they didn't get it, and then they were only up by 1. Maybe I'm wrong here. I might be wrong. If that's what happened, can somebody explain that move? That they went to go up by 2, so they'd be up by a touchdown and a field goal? Rather than just going, let's go with the fucking 90-something% thing and kick a fucking extra point, go up by 8 and make the Patriots not only have to score a touchdown, but then convert a fucking 2-point conversion. If that is in fact what happened. Like I said, I was on a plane, and there is shit to fucking look around at. And also, kind of like what I like to do is I like to listen to like AC/DC and shit like that when I'm on a plane. So I listen to like the whole Flick of the Switch album while I was watching the game. It's actually pretty fucking cool. And also, you can actually just sort of watch the game and not get nearly as emotional, because when your team is losing, you start thinking that the announcers are against your team and vice versa and all that type of shit. So I I don't know, but I thoroughly enjoyed that game. I'm not one of those fucking fans that fucking, his team loses and then thinks, oh, we got fucked and blah, blah, blah and all that bullshit, okay? I don't think that. It was a fucking great game, and I know you guys didn't have Bennett, and, and it was great seeing two of the most fucking, the two biggest cheaters facing off with one another. One guy gets all the press, the other guy doesn't. Do you know Seattle, since like 2010, I think they recently got passed by the Redskins. They were the most, they had the most people busted for taking roids. You'd never know that. They're in Seattle, man. They make coffee. Nobody gives a fuck. You do that where there's a little bit of foliage, and all of a sudden it's a fucking national story for a fucking year and a half. Because you let a cunt's hair's worth of air out of a fucking ball. It's hilarious. It's amazing to me. Anyways, let's plow ahead here. I also got to do one of my favorite charitable events, other than the Patrice O'Neill Comedy Benefit. Tickets are on sale. They are on sale. I will tweet out the link again today. It's going to be at the New York City Center, I believe February 21st. I think it's a Tuesday. Bill, it'd be kind of nice if you had the actual fucking information, wouldn't it? Clicking on the clicking on the calendar. All right. Going in. It's, February 21st. Bam. I got to do the Comics Come Home event. And this is a really special event for me because I did it 20 years ago, was the first time I did it. And I think it was at the Orpheum, and I got to meet Cam Neely. Chris Nyland was there. I got to meet Dennis Leary. And I mean, I was literally 3.5 years in my career. And it was such an unbelievable event to be a part of. And I went out, and thank God I had a good set. And I remember Leary called me and left a message. I was so bummed I wasn't home when he called me. This is like 20 years ago, so I didn't have a cell phone. I had an answer machine. And, I actually remember listening to the message like over and over again. And he was like, hey, Bill, it's Dennis. I just want to say thank you. You're really fucking funny, and you fucking killed this. So thank you for doing it, all right? All right, fucko. And he just hung up, and I listened to it like fucking 20 times in a row. It was so fucking cool. And I was also in a panic, like, oh, fuck, I didn't pick up the phone when he called. Was that my big break? We would have talked. We would have became friends. He would have opened all the doors for me. That those over-the-top panic moments that you have when you're trying to make it in this business, that you think every little thing you think you blew it. And you actually, what you end up realizing is this is not one thing. It's a series of things all just building this fucking snowball that rolls down the hill before you finally get there. So I got to do it. And it was Jay Larson. It was his first one. He did great. Wendy Liebman. Lenny Clark with his fucking lime green pants. Probably going to forget some people. Wanda Sykes, Nick DiPaolo, then me, then Bobby Kelly. And that was cool because me and Bobby were closing it out. And he's part of my stand-up graduation class. And I remember when we both first got to do it, we were in the Jay Larson spot. The first guy out, the new guy, which is really hard because nobody knows who you are enough. And you got to go up. And that was just the Orpheum. And Larson went up at the fucking TD Bank North Garden where the Bruins and Celtics played. And he fucking killed, looked totally relaxed. And I remember watching him going, like, I wasn't that relaxed the first time I did it. And it was just in a theater. And, it was cool. I had some friends there, too. That was their first comedy show they'd ever been to. And let's just say they saw the gamut of everything that can possibly happen when you go on stage, man. It was a fucking, it was a fun night. It was a fun fucking night. And, and then afterwards everybody hung out and I had these cigars that I brought and I was saying to the people, I was, hey man, is there any place we can smoke these? And one of the guys connected with the Bruins was like, okay, there's a room we can go to. So we ended up going to this like half-assed locker room. It wasn't the visitor locker room. I don't know what the fuck it was. And we went in there and we just lit these things up and just told stories for like fucking 2 hours. The entire reason I love smoking cigars. And we were in there so long, by the time we got out, like they had broken down the stage and everything and they were setting it up, I think, for a Bruins game. I couldn't tell if it was going to be Bruins or Celtics. It was sort of midway. And just watching the Bull Gang or whatever they're called, just setting it up was so fucking cool. Our little Uber our little car service back to the hotel had left. And we were like, fuck it. We were staying at the Liberty, so we just fucking walked around the corner. And it's fucking hilarious, just walking down the streets of Boston, at fucking 2 a.m. on a Saturday night, and these fucking people hammered, almost a fight here, people screaming and yelling and shit, and it's just like, I don't know. It's like, God, I remember this shit. Fucking, the energy of Boston is just, it's so fucking unique. It's really just like, it took me a long time to pick up on it because I was just in it, you know what I mean? It's kind of like if your car stinks when the commercial where they say you go nose blind, you don't see it. I kind of was like, I don't know, I couldn't see how fucking nuts Boston is, but I've said it before. Boston is like the sucker punch, like, capital of the fucking world. Like when you go into a bar, you just at past a certain hour, there's this anger that settles in the bar. You just feel it. Something's gonna happen, right? You always hear that, dude. You hear about Obi? Dude, he got fucking suckered in a bar last night. Some kid suckered him. He was wearing a fucking clatter ring, kid. I'm not saying it's all like that, but there's just that at 2 a.m, that vibe exists. I remember one time walking back from the Wilbur Theater. I can't remember where the fuck I was staying. I was walking with DeRose. I was like, man, I just want to walk, just walk the city a little bit, man. I miss it and all the memories, Back in the day, going to Emerson College and commuting and taking the train in to go to fucking Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox games and shit. And I was walking, and like there was 2 of the angriest fucking kids I've ever seen in my life. There was like these homeless people laying over the subway grates, and they were fucking walking by, and they were just screaming, "Wake up! Get a fucking job!" Like they were like so angry. They were like 30 yards in front of me, and I was continuing to slow down because I was like, if I'm even anywhere near this guy's orbit, he's going to want to fight me. He was like that level of angry. And of course, he's got his girlfriend who's trying to calm him down. Oh my God, stop it. Just go to the car. What are you doing? He's fucking screaming and he's all fucking angry. She's trying to fucking hold him and he's pulling away and shit. So of course, eventually he fucking sits down and he's just mean mugging everybody coming by. And I remember he yelled at me and DeRosa. I'm just like, just keep walking, just fucking. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's in the water. I don't know what that is, but we felt that vibe. And it was funny. So we were actually walking back. It was me, Bobby, and a couple of his buddies, and connected with the show, right? And we fucking walking back, and we did that thing, where it said don't walk, and we were kind of standing in the street a little bit, and these kids come around the corner in this car, and they're jam-packed with kids, like everybody fucking piled in. This kid's fucking in the back seat. He's got this awful fucking mustache. He comes, as we're driving by, he's like, "Hey, you're standing in the street," as he went by. And I could tell me and Bobby hadn't lived there in a long time. And I just looked at Bobby, and I was just like, we were standing in the street. And he's like, yeah, he was right. Now, back in the day, that would have been, fuck you, you fucking mustachioed whatever. And then they would have pulled over. And then, you want to go? Oh, you want to fucking go? And everybody's taking their gold chains off. That was the 80s. Remember the 80s when you had gold chains? Right before the fight, everybody's like taking their gold chain off and handing it to your girlfriend. Keep your rings on. Take your chains off, dude. Yeah, so it was always great to be back there. And I didn't get to... I came up there so quickly, I didn't get a chance to go to some of the old food haunts. But my mother made some beef stew before I left, so that was great. I hung around for like a day. Like an asshole, I hung around till like 6 at night thinking... I didn't look... I thought the Patriots game was an afternoon game. But I got... like I said, I got to watch it on the plane, on the airplane there. So anyways, all right, let's get into, let's read a little bit of advertising here. I have not watched the fucking Formula One race yet. I know Lewis Hamilton won, and he's closing the gap. So you people who have not watched fucking Formula One all year, I think the last one's in Abu Dhabi or some shit, or Dubai. I don't know where the fuck it is. All right? But this one is going to determine the fucking winner. I think Nico, all he's got to do is just come in third place. If he just does that, he's going to win it. And Lewis obviously needs to win the fucking race. But it's kind of cool that it's coming down to the last one. Anyways, let me get to the fucking Advertising. I have to hum my password or else I won't be able to talk and fucking... There we go. All right, here we go. All right. Oh, On It, everybody. Joe Rogan's company. On It has a new product. It's called emulsified MCT oil. MCT oil is one of the fastest sources of clean fuel for the body and the brain. It's one of the best ways to power up your performance or kickstart a weight management program. There are lots of MCT oil brands out there, but there's none like emulsified MCT oil from On It. Available in 3 delicious flavors: coconut, vanilla, and strawberry. That's my DNA makeup. Tell you this every week, huh? My coconut head, my vanilla skin, and my strawberry pubes. Emulsified MCT oil mixes like a cream easily in your morning coffee without the need for a blender. No mess, no cleanup. You can even mix it with into your favorite foods right now. If you go to onit.com/Burr, you can get Onit's emulsified MCT oil for 12% off. That's ONNIT.com/Bill to get emulsified MCT oil for 12% off. And for any reason, if you don't like it, they'll give you your money back, no questions asked. You got nothing to lose. Go to onit.com/Burr and get On It. You can tell that's Rogan's company. He knows how short to make the copy. Some of these fucking people, they write a goddamn novel. Oh, here's another one. Oh, give me the loot. Loot Crate, everybody. Be the envy of all your nerdy friends and get 100% off exclusive crates at lootcrate.com/Burr and enter my code Burr to save $3 off on any new subscription. What is this? This is a trunk full of nerd shit. If you're into, I'm just going to get to the point here. If you're into movies, if you're into action heroes or superheroes, right? If you like taking a bath with some fucking rubber duckies in there, these people got you covered, all right? You know, you want to be that nerd at the party that fucking's got the fucking cool T-shirt about that obscure movie? These are the guys. These are the guys that are going to get that nerd chick to come walking up to you, right? And later on tonight, you'll both take off each other's hooded sweatshirts. Are you on a quest for epic gear, housewares, and collectibles? Loot Crate has it. Loot Crate offers an epic range of pop culture items for less than $20 a month. If you're more of a fanatical fashionista, then try out Lootwear. There's no other copy in the world do I have no fucking idea what they're talking about. Monthly wearables and accessories with cult classics and your favorite franchises. If you want to get fancy, get a bigger box with even bigger loot with Loot Crate DX. Get ready for November's enchanting theme, magical. Oh, the wonderful world of magic here in November. Loot Crate has cast a powerful ancient spell to deliver you November's Crate, featuring bewitching items from Doctor Strange, Fantastic Beasts, and where to find them. I've never heard of any of that. Big Trouble in Little China. I love that movie. And so much more. Kurt Russell there, when he fucking had the lipstick on, he was biting into that sandwich. It was fucking hilarious. Do not wait. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe for November's Crate. When it's over, it's over. No more crates. Go to lootcrate.com/Burr and enter my code Burr to save $3 off on any new subscription today. Jesus Christ, they're all nice and short this week. This is fucking tremendous. Can just plow right through them. I think maybe they all got together collectively. It was just like, we got to help this guy out. He's got to have an aneurysm trying to read out loud. All right, here's another one. Guys, to go to Dollar Shave Club for a fantastic shave. Guys, this is where I just bring you all in like we're all at a slumber party. What you probably don't know is that they have other amazing products too. The quality is the best on the market. Their body wash is great and won't dry out your skin. Their pre- and post-shave stuff keeps your skin soft and smooth. Their stuff will have you looking and smelling like $1,000,000. Dollar Shave Club's got stuff for your hair, for your face, for your underparts. The old undercarriage there, huh? Don't forget to lube it up, right? For everywhere to keep you feeling and looking fresh. Once you're in the club, you'll see that they've got the best grooming products out there. They got a hot comb for your pubes. And they're all affordable. Right now is your chance to see for yourself why so many people love Dollar Shave Club. If you're not a member yet and have never joined, now's the time. You'll get your first month of razors for free. Just pay shipping. After that, it's only a few bucks. Join today. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/Burr. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Burr. All right. What do we got? 2 more? All right. Fuck that. I'll read those later. All right. Okay. Back to the podcast. So anyways, yeah, so I didn't get a chance. The fucking race was in Brazil. I got it taped at home. I can't wait to see it because it was raining. And that's one of the coolest things I find about Formula One racing is that it's like football. They don't give a shit. You know, if it's raining or not, they're gonna keep racing. And I think that's cool. And it adds all this extra elements to the race. And it's like when two teams, like one team's favored by 14, and all of a sudden it starts fucking raining out, and everybody starts slip sliding around. You got yourself a good game. I thought that this was going to be a landslide one way or the other, like Hillary Clinton. I still can't believe Donald Trump won. I still cannot fucking believe that. A reality show TV star got fucking elected. Oh, Jesus, there. 2 of the worst fucking candidates ever to fucking face each other, in my humble fucking opinion. But what the fuck do I know? Evidently, I know a lot, considering a lot of the fucking emails I got and all the shit on Twitter. I got a lot of shit for my appearance on Conan, which I got to be honest with you guys, was not a fucking easy one to do. It was the day after the election. Everyone was in shock, I think including Trump supporters. Because I went back east and I talked to a couple friends of mine and they voted for Trump. And I was like, dude, I can't believe that guy won. And they were like, yeah, I can't fucking believe it either. So, I don't know. Maybe this is like when the Patriots beat the Rams. I have no fucking idea. But anyways, that was not an easy spot to be in, you know? And I stayed true to who I was, an uninformed jackass who can't fucking read out loud, who's into conspiracy theory. I talked about Hillary dressing up like a yak and fucking people under a mountain. I talked about Trump being a dope and that whole ridiculous shit about building a fucking wall. I trashed them both equally, but, you know, people who vote for colors, right? You got a blue tie, you can say nothing wrong. You got a red tie, you can't do anything wrong, right? I got so much fucking shit. It's so amazing how people hear things. My point in all of that was like, you know, it'd be kind of cool if we all just stopped yelling at each other. All right? All right, if you guys, if you want to hear my fucking theories, this is my theory. Okay, I think Trump got in because of 8 years of Obama and the progressive left. And I think they got in because of 8 years of George Bush. And I think Bush and Cheney. And I think they got in because of 8 years of Clinton. And I think Clinton got in because of 12 years of Reagan and Bush. It goes like way conservative, and then it goes way fucking liberal, and then it goes way conservative. You know what I mean? I mean, think about where America was, right? When Bush and Cheney were there. All right? And then 6 years later or so, during Obama's presidency, like Bruce Jenner transitioned, got her own show, and was named Woman of the Year. Okay, now that is not something that you would think could happen in 2007. 6 years later, boom, that's where the fuck it's at. And I don't know. And my problem with both sides is the way they ram their ideology down your fucking throat. And that if you have a difference of an opinion, you know, on the right, it means you're against America, you don't support the troops, and you're a socialist. And on the left, if you don't agree with them, you're a caveman, you're a fucking sexist, you're a racist, you're a homophobe, you're any of those fucking things. But both sides equally try to get you to lose your job, and they try to destroy your ability to earn a living because of your beliefs. And for the life of me, as confusing as the prevent defense is, can somebody please explain to me how if somebody says something politically or socially that you don't agree with, spawning a movement to get them to lose their fucking job, how that makes that person more supportive of the troops, America, less of a socialist, whatever the fuck it is you think they are, or how that makes them less racist, less homophobic. Like, I don't know. That doesn't work. Yelling at people, taking away their jobs. You know what I mean? It's like way back when the Dixie Chicks criticized George Bush. The fucking right, all of a sudden, they pressured radio stations to not play their music. They were fucking running over their CDs with steamrollers. And, you know, people are like, dude, what the fuck? You're going a little far. And it's like, no, they had a right to say that, and we had a right to respond. It's tit for tat. It's like, that's not tit for tat. You know, tit for tat is they trash George Bush, you defend George Bush, and you trash them. Trying to systematically destroy their career and their ability to make a living is not tit for tat. That's like somebody flicked your fucking ear, and then you took out a fucking knife and trying to cut their jugular. So, and personally speaking, I think both sides are really guilty of that. They're really guilty. When you get really far left and you get really far right, they're really guilty of just, they bully people, and they're so fucking wrapped up in that they're so goddamn right about everything that they really become condescending, insufferable assholes. And I don't know. So I try to stay in the middle, because I would never tell you who the fuck to vote for, nor did I ever on this thing. Unlike what most people saw. Dude, I got people on fucking Twitter. It's hilarious. Like, they're sitting there. First of all, they think they know me because they watched me on a talk show, and then they think they know how I voted. Like, the amount of people that thought I voted for Trump, and then the amount of people that thought I voted for Hillary. All the Trump people think I voted for fucking Hillary, and all the Hillary people think I voted for Trump. I didn't vote for either one of them. I told you guys right along. Bernie Sanders was my fucking guy. That was my fucking guy. And watching him getting boxed out by the media because they felt Hillary had more of a chance, and they didn't give a shit that they were just voting for just more of the same. The only thing I will commend with the right is they got their Bernie Sanders in. I mean, the guy is a fucking shit show, but at least, you know, at least they stuck by their rebel. I wish that they had done that I would have loved to have seen Bernie against fucking Donald Trump. I think Bernie would have had a better shot. I just think the Clintons had too much fucking baggage. You know? And even as a Clinton supporter, you know that's fucking true. How little did Bill Clinton talk during that whole fucking time? He didn't talk at all. This is a former fucking president who had a successful presidency. I mean, even though he got impeached for sticking a cigar, lying about, you know, Monica Lewinsky, he didn't talk. Like Al Gore lost to George Bush. You know, he didn't use Bill Clinton. He goes, I got to get the fuck away from you, dude. You're a fucking nightmare. You're a fucking nightmare. You're a political fucking nightmare. And the dude's own wife had to do the exact same fucking thing. I don't know. They had a ton of fucking baggage, you know, and Hillary supporters won't fucking look at it objectively at the same way Trump supporters won't look at that. I mean, I don't know. It's a fucked up time. But I will tell you this, though. The time for screaming and yelling at each other is over, I feel. And it would be nice is if those people who aren't crazy fucking left and crazy right could kind of maybe break bread a little bit. Which I don't think is going to happen because of 8 years of Obama and 8 years of the progressive left becoming word police and social police and idea police and all of this stuff, telling you what the fuck you're supposed to think about everything and what you're supposed to say and what word you're supposed to use. And I really think it's overly simplifying, saying that the right voted the way they did because they want to say homophobic and racial slurs. Just turning people into like both of them. They always turn each other into like a cartoon. Like, you ever notice, like, whenever like a Democrat gets in, the right totally overreacts and like, it's going to be socialism. It's going to be like communist Russia. There's going to be terrorists running down the fucking street, you know? And then whenever anybody in the right gets in, it's always like, this is like Germany in 1935. Every fucking time. They say that every fucking time. I'm not saying that one of those times it won't be fucking true, but they say it every fucking time, and they completely freak the fuck out. And I don't know. And then when they get in, they ram their ideologies down the other person's throat. They have zero empathy for somebody else. They have zero empathy for how people want to raise their kids. And they just, both sides, they just like, we're 100% right, and you're going to fucking take this right down the throat. And I don't know. Each election, I think the pendulum keeps swinging farther and farther. But even if you're not fucking Democrat, you have to be proud of the last 8 fucking years. I mean, at least there was no cigars and pussies. There was no, they have weapons of mass destruction. Oops, we can't find any. Oh, now it's a liberation? There was none of that shit, right? Who knows? Who the fuck? I don't know what's going to happen, but, I'm no comfortable with this result than anybody else, but you wouldn't know that from all these fucking things, these emails. I'll read you, I'll try to get through these next 2 emails that I got. This is classic, like, political shit, how people, like, they just hear what they want to hear, right? So this guy writes me, and this guy is basically, I think, blaming me in a roundabout way for Donald Trump getting in. Because God knows that's the kind of power the Monday Morning Podcast has, you know? Couple 100,000 downloads. I mean, that's it, dude. That's it. I can't believe I don't have Secret Service security right outside my door as I do this. Literally a podcast where I talk about fucking sports 90% of the time. I talk about conspiracy theory. I say I'm an idiot. I can't read out loud. You know, this guy, for some reason, is choosing to ignore all of this. I'm going to say because the person he wanted didn't get in. So here we go. Dear Freckles, I'm no rocket scientist, all right? Immediately going self-deprecating. Neither are you. Okay, agreed. And I think it's safe to assume the large majority of your listeners aren't either. Unlike you, I would never speak for them. I don't know who they are. Okay? But, if you want to assume that, to continue on with your point, I'll go along with it. Most are like me. Average this person has not done 1 fucking ounce of research for this, but this is how we build points. This is how I build a point. Most are like me. Average middle class folk who like a laugh twice a week from our favorite comedian. See this? This is laying the groundwork. I feel an overhand right coming. You have swayed my opinion on several things over the years. Oh, Jesus. Most notably, I went from a Patriot hater to someone who supports them and agrees they are unfairly scrutinized by the league and other teams. Well, isn't that amazing? So I guess if I could sway you on the amount of air that should be in a football, I could sway you on who you're going to pick for the leader of the free world. Yeah, that's the same. I totally see that point. I don't think there's any sort of giant body of water that you're leaping over there. I don't. Okay, here we go. When I realized how much your opinions influence me, I realized how much they might influence others. Okay, here's the big failure here, buddy. Okay, you didn't agree with me on the Patriots. I brought you around. You didn't agree with me with my political opinion on Hillary Clinton. You didn't change. I think that I can bring your fucking opinion around about using those save fucky fuck cards in your everyday bullshit life. But when I think it comes down to electing the leader of the free world, I think you go a little bit beyond the Monday Morning Podcast or the Thursday afternoon just before Friday Monday Morning Podcast where I scream, I'm just checking in on you like a fucking idiot for half a minute. All right, so here he goes with this. See, he's laid. See, he came out, I'm no rocket scientist, self-deprecating, okay? Then he goes, hey, and then he just goes, well, I'm going to assume that this is what your listeners are without doing any sort of research. And then I'm going to go, oh, you swayed me on this fucking basic bullshit horseshit that means absolutely nothing. Therefore, you could sway me on something that means, Jesus Christ, dude, you walk through the mall and there's somebody sitting there going, hey, buddy, can I talk to you for a second? This is a self-fan. Look at this. You can spray some spritzer in and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden you buy some little impulse buy thing. Then with your theory, that guy could also get you to vote for who the fuck he wants you to vote for. Anyways, continuing on. When I realized how much your opinion influenced me, I realized how much they might influence others, and how these influences might have much larger implications than the NFL. Call me crazy, but it seems like you're going into paranoia now. After your polls said that your person was going to win, and now you're sitting there with your jaw on the ground, and now you're looking for a scapegoat, and here I am, a 48-year-old, bald, pasty fucking redhead. There's an easy target. Let's go after him. I love it, buddy. Let's do it. Fucking tar and feather me. Here we go. You have consistently and foolishly bashed Hillary so much more than you have Trump. Hilarious, right? So much more than Trump. I have an entire chunk of material on Donald Trump, and Trump was so fucking easy. I felt guilty when I was on stage. I did it when I was on Conan about building the fucking wall. How ridiculous an idea that is, how much money that was going to be. I did all of that. I always called him a dope. I always called him a reality TV show star. Didn't even remotely respect him as a businessman. I said I didn't believe that he was a billionaire. I said I don't think that he could get you $6,000 in cash if you gave him 6 or 7 weeks. I thought he was completely leveraged out. I made fun of his hair. I made fun of how he didn't say anything to anybody. He never said anything. It was the most fascinating thing I've ever seen. He would go like fucking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And someone would be like, how are you going to do that? And he would be like, oh, you'll see. You'll see. I was doing a bit in my act going, I want to use that with my wife. Just make all these outrageous claims about what a great husband I'm going to be. And then when she gives me shit, well, what are you going to do to improve yourself? Oh, you'll see. You'll see. No, you need to tell me. Well, I'm not going to give away my strategies. Then you'll steal them. I did all of that. Right? And then Hillary, I said that she was part of the Bilderberg group. I talked about the Hillary Foundation and how they fucking been living off of that shit. They threw a $3 million wedding for their daughter. All of that type of shit. All of her fucking felony charges and everything, which, of course, all Hillary supporters are like, those were unfounded, they were not proven. Yet, with fucking Donald Trump, 6 or 7 people say that he sexually assaulted them, which I fucking believe. I believe that, too. That girl, when she went, get real, which I also said on the podcast, and I was like, dude, he definitely did that shit. You didn't hear any of this shit, did you, sir? You know why? Because you got fucking blue ties stuck in your fucking ears. All right, let's go. Continuing to blame me. All right. I evidently, it's so much more. I trashed Hillary. The entire election, you have unfairly focused hate on her. And at the end of your tirade, you tack on, oh, and he's a cunt too. You don't seem to realize the influence you have on people who listen to you twice a week, every week. Sir, you've done nothing to prove that I have influence. This is all something that you built in your head when you were hyperventilating that this fucking monster got into the office. All right? And Hillary's a monster too. Okay? And that right there was my, oh, and she's a cunt too. I didn't like either one of these people. And that was my message throughout all of this. Okay? And that's just my fucking opinion, which I'm allowed to have. Aren't I? All right. You most likely influenced at least one voter to vote for Donald Trump. And for that, you should be fucking ashamed. Dude, this is all fucking conspiracy theory. Because you got somebody to cast one vote for the person that I didn't vote for, you should be fucking ashamed. Because I only see the faults of the guy with the red tie, and I don't see any faults with the person with the blue blouse. All right, you are so stupid. Here we go. This is always great to get somebody to listen to your opinion. Usually what you should do, you usually should end with the insult. Say your point, and then you tag on, you fucking asshole, because then they'll at least hear your point. But if you start this, if you front end load, all right, you are so stupid that in one sentence you go from saying how they never talk about this issue or that issue, then conclude by saying, but I haven't watched any of the debates or kept up on this at all. You fucking idiot. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You don't think that Trump supporters didn't say the same thing? They did, buddy, because I have the exact same fucking email from the other side. All right? Which, with my theory that I'll now use, that also has no research behind it, I would say that you guys all sort of canceled each other out. So whatever influence I had, I influenced somebody the other way too. So I am completely exonerated here. And if you look at the popular vote, it was almost right down the fucking middle. So there you go. So he calls me a fucking idiot, all right? They never talk about climate change. It's something you've said on Monday. The day before the election, you have no clue what you're talking about. Well, first of all, I said they never do. I didn't say that one or the other, so that was an even-handed one, right? She goes, Clinton has made it a major point and supports the Paris Agreement. Nothing I ever saw, she made it a major point. She's commented on it. It goes, the Paris Agreement, not that you even know what the fuck that is, you freckled fuck. Of course. See, this guy, once again, making assumptions. I know what the Paris Agreement is. I've seen it on The Daily Show. I saw when they all talked about it. I saw when they went there and the right finally said, and I actually talked about this on the podcast, sir, when the right went there and they finally said, okay, after denying it, they finally said global warming does exist, but it's too late to do anything about it now. All right? I believe I compared that to when Pete Rose finally admitted that he bet on baseball and said, now can you let me in the Hall of Fame? I distinctly remember saying that. Not that you remember that, sir, because you got your blue bonnet stuffed in your fucking ear. Right? I also actually looked up weeks ago, like, when did people first start talking about climate change? As I was driving down the street and I was listening and they were saying, I drove down the street that morning. I heard that on NPR they say, scientists say the Great Barrier Reef is now dead. And then they went on to talk about the Cubs, which of course struck me as funny that the whole rest of the report should have been about that. Or that swirl of trash in the Pacific Ocean and all that shit, which none of these guys really talk about. They do a little bit of lip service. That's about it. But they're not going to fucking do anything about it. And even if they try to, they can't because these corporations own them. Which is why I like the lunatic guys. I never vote for the fucking main people. I don't know, whatever. Let's just plow ahead. So anyways, yeah, I actually looked it up. And the first time climate change was brought up, somebody had like a theory, before it was even happening, was projecting that if the population kept growing, that the theory was that we would heat up the planet. And they did that in the early 1800s. I couldn't believe it. And then there was a few more things about it. I can't remember, this was weeks ago, but like in the late 50s was the first definitive paper saying, since the 1950s, scientists have been telling people that the pollutions and shit that we've been putting in the air or whatever, like, I'm not a scientist, okay? I am just a regular guy, but I read they have known about it or had the attention called to it since the late 1950s, okay? So I am a moron, but I'm not as dumb as you think I am, sir. And one of the reasons why I underplay myself is because I don't want to be another fucking jerk-off who's just fucking, getting in your fucking ear like some people in my business. Okay? So anyways, he goes, Trump has said repeatedly that climate change is a hoax that was created by the Chinese. He said it repeatedly. I'm going to look up the internet, see how many times he repeatedly said that. Usually when people say repeatedly, it means it's a quote that somebody said like 7 years ago. One time. All right. And yet you blindly and ignorantly spew your unfounded bullshit. Dude, you just defined this podcast. Why are you acting like this is Meet the Press? He goes, I'm not a genius. Oh, he's back to being humble again. I'm not a genius as you call me a fucking idiot. All right. I'm not a political scientist. Now he's doing humble pie. He's got his hands up. But I took just a few hours out of my life to research both of their positions on crucial issues and get an understanding of them. Oh, yeah, I never did that. I didn't do that at all. And I'm not the one speaking to thousands of people twice a week. You should truly be horrified at the thought you had anything to do with this fucking train wreck. I love how do you think that Hillary has any responsibility for the campaign that she ran? I mean, from day one, her campaign could not use an unbelievable asset, which was former President Bill Clinton. Because of all of the shit show that guy was, both professionally and in his personal life. Her husband, it was a former president that was wildly popular. She couldn't even use the guy because of all the fucking skeletons in his fucking closet. You know? And together they both had skeletons, you know? It's a very polarizing candidate that she picked. And I thought in key moments, you know, where she really could have come up with something clever to say, she didn't have it. Look, sir, be honest with me. What really gets you into office? Your policy or playing the saxophone on fucking Arsenio Hall? Or not sticking your head out of a tank and looking like a fucking dope? Or getting too excited and going, yeah! I mean, that's the kind of shit that brings people down, more so than anything else. And dude, that's not my fault if you want to fucking blame me for that, but that is the truth. So you can actually win an election like you just saw that fucking dope Trump do without saying a fucking thing, but being good at trashing somebody's fucking shirt, which is basically how he got in. Promising a bunch of shit, not saying what he was going to do, and then go, look at that guy down there, he's fucking clueless, and everybody just laughing. Hillary didn't have any of that. She had no fucking swagger. She just... Dude, I remember when she did that hot sauce moment on that fucking radio show, and the host was going, everybody that was African-American, and she goes, what's your favorite, you know, what's your go-to thing? What do you always carry around with you? And she said hot sauce, which evidently was true. Okay? But it immediately looked like she was pandering, and the guy said, are you just trying to pander? Sounds to me like you're just trying to pander to black people. And rather than just saying like, no, man, I like it, I've been blah, 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 she goes, is it working? I mean, that right there, why the fuck would you say that? Why would you say it? And when I saw her say that, I assumed, I said, she is pandering. And then people were going like, well, actually, it's true. And then I looked it up and I go, oh, it is fucking true. But still, this is the thing. If I was really into fucking hot sauce and I was fucking running and I was on an all-black radio station, I wouldn't have brought it up because it would have looked like pandering. And then if I did bring it up, sorry about my voice, I sound like I'm going through puberty here. Even if I did brought it up, then I would have been honest about it. Been like, no, I know it sounds like I'm pandering, but there are some crossover things. I actually really enjoy it. So, you mean she has to take some sort of the responsibility that, you know, she couldn't beat this fucking nitwit. All right, over 300 of the top economists, I'm not saying that she's not an evil cunt, too. Over 300 of the top economists, including 8 Nobel laureates, came together to say, I don't even know if I said that right, that a Trump presidency would mean turmoil in the American and as a result, the world's economy. Over 350 of the best scientists in the world came together to say his presidency would be a disaster for the entire planet because of his dangerous stance on climate change. Not to mention, Russia literally threw a party in the Parliament building as soon as Trump was elected. That actually, I'm happy. I like when Russia and the United States are on friendly fucking terms. It would be nice that we're not going in a direction to fucking keep pointing missiles at one another. And, you know, for as much as Al Gore, I loved his stance on climate change. He wasn't able to get a fucking thing done. He wasn't able to stop it. He wanted to fucking, you get a few policies in there. They just ignore it. And these guys are only in there for 48 years. They just wait them out. I remember when Al Gore wanted to have a car that got 100 miles to a gallon. I was excited. I was in my 20s. I wanted to buy the car. They just kept delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. And then they got out of office. Al didn't beat Bush, and then they just scrapped it, and it was fucking over. And that's what they do, because they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. You honestly think Hillary Clinton would have stopped global warming? If you talk, all those 350 scientists that are all experts, you know what else they've said? They said it's too late. It was too late by the 1980s. It was or something in the 90s. It's been too late. It's almost like not even a fucking issue anymore. I mean, it is an issue, but the only way to do it was we would all have to fucking go back to living like cavemen, and 90% of us would have to die and just kind of sit there and not do jumping jacks to add to the fucking heat and hope this thing could heal itself. Other than that, I don't know what the fuck you're going to do. Because everybody's running around just having to get a flat screen TV in every fucking room. You know, I love how it's like the political candidates are responsible for it. It's like we're just as responsible as anybody else, aren't we? I don't know. Jesus Christ, this is like Meet the Press here. Anyway, so the next time you open that stupid fucking freckle-crusted mouth This guy's like more enlightened than me, by the way. Remember, your words have power. You are an influential person, whether you want to believe it or not. I don't expect you to read this tirade on the podcast, but I hope you read it and realize what a fool you've been. Why? Because I don't agree with you? Because you have all of this, admittedly, that is, none of this was researched? If you just did 45 minutes of research, earlier you told me a couple hours, you could see that, yes, Hillary made mistakes with the email and Benghazi. Yeah, she made mistakes, okay? But nothing she ever did was criminal. Exactly. All right, well, Trump, he made some mistakes with women, but none of it was ever criminal, or he would have been fucking in jail, right? He would have been brought up on charges, right? The charges would have stuck. You can do the same thing. You're going to completely... I like how you don't bring up the fucking Hillary Foundation or any of that type of shit either. Or any of the other fucking... all that other, whatever, the fucking Whitewater, all of that fucking crap. You don't bring up any of that shit. You don't bring up the fact that they're both worth hundreds of millions of fucking dollars. And that's not a red flag to you. These down-to-earth Democrats who are men of the people, they're worth a couple $100 million. The presidency pays $500,000 a year. How do they do it? And don't give me that horse shit about they give political speeches. The fucking political speeches that they give, okay? Can you at least agree with me on this, sir? That's just those people washing their bribe money. Those are the people that put him in office, and then they go back and they give a speech, and they give him $300,000, $250,000 to fucking speak there for him. Give me a fucking break. All right? All right, so that's his fucking thing. So he thinks I'm a moron, and I got Trump to be fucking elected. Okay, now here's somebody exact opposite. Bill, you really are uneducated on Trump. Bill, you need to run away from the progressives. This person thinks I'm a progressive liberal. Listen to the exact same podcast, sir. Move the fuck out of California or whatever liberal spot you're living in. Now, this is what I can tell you immediately, is the last person who wrote this email is not listening to this at all. Is already yelling at his fucking windshield about what a dope this guy is. He goes, I just heard your podcast about the tearful Democrats. Yeah, he listened to my podcast, and he thinks that I'm a progressive liberal. And for instance, you had no clue who is going to pay for the wall. Dude, I've said all along I have no clue. I don't know shit about football. I watch fucking Patriots Seattle. I can't name half the fucking people. All right, here we go. You have no true... This is the funniest thing I've ever... One of the funny things I've read. You have no clue who's going to pay for the wall. Trump had 100 rallies where he asked the audience, who's going to pay for the wall? And everyone would shout, Mexico. Do you realize, sir, that all you were doing was just repeating what he said was going to happen, but he never said how he would get Mexico? Sir, just imagine you didn't like your next door neighbor, okay? And you were sick of him cutting across your lawn or whatever the fuck he was doing. You know, cutting across the corner of your lawn and making the grass go flat, and you were fucking sick of it. Now, let me ask you this. Let's say you decided to build a wall and you decided that he was going to pay for it. How would you go about doing that? Exactly. Now, let's move it up to a fucking country level. So we're going to build this wall, and how is he going to make Mexico pay for it? And if you tell me, it's only a guess, because as far as I watched, he never said how. Economic sanctions, you're going to pressure them into fucking doing it? Okay, anyway, so here we go. How is it that those mobs, great word, dude, are more educated than you? Who the fuck is saying that the benefit of the walls will be jobs? Who are you listening to? And who said Trump doesn't want health care? He's been really left on health care, saying people with no insurance should be able to get treatment and care from way back when he was running in the primaries. See, now this guy thinks Trump is left on this. See, this is why. This is why, sir, the first person that you think I had influence, it's like people just hear the podcast. You guys already have your fucking minds made up. And then you listen to the podcast, okay? And it's like watching a football game. And you're listening to Chris Collinsworth. I met him one time when I did Inside the NFL. Chris Collinsworth goes, everybody thinks I hate their fucking team and like the other team better. And that's what you guys are doing with this podcast, all right? You guys are listening to this shit. You lean left or you lean right. And when I trash your guy, you think I'm only trashing your man or woman, and I'm trashing it more than the other people. And then if and when your person loses, you then blame my podcast. All right? You guys went out and you voted for who the fuck you wanted to vote for, and you listened to the information that you wanted to listen to, and you listened to whatever the fuck you were receptive to that vibed in your life, which is the exact reason why when I was doing this bit on stage talking about Trump supporters going, how can you support this guy? He's got people openly yelling the N-word at his rallies. There's video of that. Doesn't that bother you? And this is what they would say. Well, I'm not, I said this on Conan. They would be like, I'm not into that. I'm not into that. But Hillary, and what it is what tracks for people is what's going to affect their fucking life. And unfortunately, when it comes to fucking racism, it doesn't track with white people because it's not a factor in their life. White people are not victims of racism, despite the fact they say that they are when they talk about like affirmative action. That's racist because they don't understand that the reason why affirmative action came about was because racist white people would not hire people who were not white. So they literally had to come up with a law to force white people to give other people a chance. And then what people do is they just look at that moment. They don't look at the history of it. They just look right then and there. So, I don't know. I think that, look, I understand that right now, believe me, do I understand, going to comedy shows and seeing the way the fucking crowd is reacting, that this is a very volatile fucking time. This guy goes on to talk about how fucking people thought Republicans were being dramatic when they said no to World War III, vote Trump. But the Democratic National, the DNC, I don't even know what the fuck it stands for, forced Russia to, why isn't it DNP, Democratic National Party? Make my life easier. Force Russia to dump tons of money into hypersonic nuclear missiles. They have these fucking hypersonic carriages that can hold 16 nuclear warheads that can penetrate our missile shields, blah, 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 and all this type of shit. Reputable scholars were saying that we're moving towards World War III if you elect Hillary. Now they're all changing their tune thanks to President Trump, former host of The Apprentice. Get on board with Trump. Your annoying voice should be on our side. See, he doesn't think I'm fucking on his side. You don't think I'm on your side. Both of you have scholars and scientists that say your point of view is right, because what you guys do is you go to I'mRight.com and you memorize a bunch of horse shit. And then when your person doesn't win, you then fucking blame a podcast. So there you go. I don't know what to tell you guys. I respect both of your opinions. I don't agree on either one of them. I usually don't say who I vote for because I think it's a private matter, but I did not vote for either one of them. I voted for somebody else. Bernie wasn't on the ballot. I voted for somebody else that I thought was the best candidate, not who the fuck I thought was going to win. And I think that's a major problem, is that people don't want what's right. They want to win, you know? So they will go with a candidate that is a warmonger or a fucking racist or a corrupt piece of shit, and they don't give a fuck as long as they're wearing the right fucking color tie. All right, and now I'm done. All right, let's read some advertising, everybody. But I do have to say this, is let's just say whatever Trump is going to do. All it's doing for me, you know, he appoints this guy, and he's got this fucking past where he allegedly said something about Jews, you know, wasn't proven or whatever, but he's got this fucking background. Like, all that does for me is just inspires me to become more of a fucking understanding person and try to listen to people. And as long as you just take that, like, that attitude, you know, I really don't think a president should make up your mind on who you should be afraid of and what we need to do and what these people are going to do to us or what they're not going to do to us just because they fucking said it. I don't listen to that. What I like to do is I listen to what the president says, and then I go to the country and I go to their fucking thing and I try to find some English story about what the fuck they're saying about us, and then I try to figure out what the middle is. All right? I don't know. I don't give a shit what color your fucking tie is. All right. So white people, if you're nervous, okay, Liberal whites, if you're really a fucking good liberal white, you'll become even more fucking understanding of people that aren't white and that are going to, bear the brunt of what this guy might fucking do. I think it's your responsibility to become even more understanding. You know what I mean? And stop making everything about yourself and your fucking world. Because the mainstream is already about that. All right? There you go. I'm off my... You can take it or don't. It's up to fucking you. All right? But I don't want to hear you crying about somebody taking your fucking... I can't stand listening to white people talking about, they're taking the country away from us. It's like, if you looked at a fucking census, you idiot, you're fine, okay? All the water parks, they're made for you. No one gives a second look when you show up, like, what's his element doing here? They're excited you're there, and within 2 seconds, there's someone in a mascot outfit fucking hugging you. There you go, all right? You're going to be fine. All right. Driving your four-wheeler on your property. MVMT watches, everybody. Pronounced movement. Was founded on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. The watchmaker's goal is to change the way consumers think about fashion by offering high-quality, minimalist products at revolutionary prices. With over 500,000 watches sold to customers in 160-plus countries around the world, MVMT Watches has solidified itself as the world's fastest-growing watch company. Movement watches start at just $95. At a department store, you're looking at a good $400 to $500. Movement watches figured out by selling online, they are able to cut out the middleman and retail markup, providing the best possible price. Over 500,000 watches sold in over 160 countries. Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movementwatches.com/Burr. That's MVMTwatches.com/Burr. This watch has a really clean design. I always hate this part. It's like you already sold them. Now you're going to come back around again. This watch has a really clean design. Seriously, evidently I've been getting compliments ever since I put it on. Not only am I not wearing it, I actually lost my other watch. It's a nice fucking watch, okay? I didn't wear it because I have other watches, because I'm in my 40s and I can afford a nice watch, so I bought that one. If I was in my 20s, I'd fucking buy this one. All right? Go to MVMTwatches.com/Burr. Join the movement. But I didn't buy an overly expensive one. I do not understand buying a super expensive fucking watch. I just don't get it. All right? I don't understand it. They all just end up telling time, right? I mean, this is the kind of guy who drove a Prius for 9 years, right? I should have a movement watch. All right, stamps.com, everybody. Some small businesses still think an expensive postage meter is the only way to get postage without having to go to the post office, but they're wrong. There's stamps.com. With stamps.com, you can easily print postage for any letter or package using just your computer and printer. No extra hardware to buy, no long-term contracts. Stamps.com can serve you at least 50% compared to a meter. Plus, you can do more with Stamps.com than you can with the meter, like send package tracking information to receipts with one click. The choice is clear. Stamps.com offers more features at a fraction of the cost. I've been using Stamps.com for years for my show. It makes mailing and shipping really convenient. Right now, sign up for Stamps.com and use my last name, Burr, to get a 4-week trial plus a $110 bonus offer, including postage and a digital scale. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Burr. That's it. All right, cool. All right. Anyways, that's sort of the podcast. Here's another thing. Like, I travel a lot, so I get to talk to all of these fucking people out there. And I know somebody that voted for Trump and was like, I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting that he's going to be president. Obviously, he's a white dude. He's excited, right? And this is the same guy. He said Obama's a fucking idiot. All right, which you're free to say that. You think he's a fucking idiot, but you can watch fucking Donald Trump. Oh, I'm going to do it. It just, I don't know. That's what I learned traveling this country. It's just people hear what the fuck they want to hear. All right, lingerie. Let's get off politics. I'll give you guys a breather here, all right? But please, guys, just stop fucking yelling at each other, all right? And just stop blaming everybody and just fucking... Let's be human beings here, all right? Let's be honest with you. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are not out for you or for me. They're out there for themselves. And that's why they're worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Make no mistake, all right? Fucking show up in a radio station with your hot sauce for just during the campaign? And where the fuck are you going to be the rest of the time? You're going to be in the White House buying up fucking land on aquifers. All right. Hey, Billy Nipple Slip. I recently started dating this girl, and we've been messing around for a few months now. Congratulations. She's pretty cool and a really sweet girl, and sex is great with her. All right, trifecta. However, she's been doing a lot of lingerie shopping and wants me to go with her one day so we can shop for her lingerie together. Personally, I never got the point of lingerie, nor am I a big fan of it. Really? You just like when they just show up with like your fucking old basketball shorts on? You're one of those guys. As long as there's a pussy underneath it, I don't give a fuck. All right, personally, I never got the... Okay, didn't see the point of buying something that was meant for you to take off almost immediately after you put it on. All right, sir. This is the thing about... All right, so you're one of those no foreplay guys. All right? If you really want to take it to the next level, dude, like you ever make a meal for somebody and you set it down and you turn your back to the stove to set the pan back down, and when you look back, they're already halfway done with it, and you're like, what the fuck did I do all that work for? I would let her buy that. It makes her feel sexy, right? And then, gets her all even into the, the mood a little bit more. I'm telling you, dude, you're striking me as somebody who never takes the downtown six, if you know what I mean. He just fucking rips the clothes off, puts her on her back, fucking rolls off, turns on the fucking TV. All right, also, I'm not that great at faking my reaction when her or her girls have broke out their sexy lingerie and I'm unenthused by it. You know what, dude? You're an asshole. You really are an asshole. And that could be a good thing. You're going to get what you want in life, but you're going to miss out on a lot in life. It's even got me in trouble a couple times. The girls I've been dating, for the most part, have been pretty sexy, but when it comes to lingerie, I just think it makes things awkward. That is the most overused word on the planet. It's the default emotion of this entire fucking world now. I don't even know what the word means anymore. It's been applied to everything. Everything's awkward. I don't know what that means. Same goes for things like sexting, role-playing, vag and tit pics, and anything else that's kind of puts you on the spot for things involving sex. Is it weird that stuff does nothing for me? No, it isn't, but it shouldn't make the other person feel like an asshole. Should I try to do my best... You know what? I preempt. I shouldn't have called you an asshole this early because now you're asking questions. All right, I apologize. I'm wrong. All right, should I try my best to continue pretending that my wiener isn't shriveling up like a sock when you pull the strings out of it? Oh, the lingerie. Huge fan of the podcast. If you haven't yet, please come out. I'm not going to say where he's from just in case his fucking girlfriend recognizes this. Dude, you could just kind of go along with it a little bit. Like, look, I think, like, just saying you're not into sexting and role-playing and shit, that's, like, next-level shit. If you're not into that, that's fine. Okay? But lingerie, I think, is a simple thing you could put a happy face on. I mean, as much as guys think the lingerie is for them, and for the most part, the way women dress... Like, guys, oh, look at her, she's hot, she wants it. I mean, they're dressing for themselves. They like to look pretty, right? It makes them feel good. So I think hey, Nick, can you come in for a second? She's giving me a look here. Come here. Oh, Jesus. She literally walked by, stopped, and looked at me. All right, so this guy is, oh, my God, it's 10:36. I got to get on with my fucking day. So this guy, could you look less enthused? Yeah, you shot me a look. I thought that meant you wanted to come in.
I'm just listening, but go on. What is it?
What are you, Henry Hill? I'm just listening.
What is it?
What do you want me to say? That my wife 2 times me? All right, so this guy, he's with this great girl. She's fucking cool. She's sexy. The sex is great, but she's into wearing sexy lingerie. It does nothing for him. She wants to him to go along on it, and like he thinks it's just stupid. So she puts it on and she fucking pulls the strings like ba-da-da-boo. And he said, I'm supposed to sit there and act like my dick is not shriveling up like a sock.
What?
What should I do?
He doesn't think lingerie is sexy?
He's just done it. He goes, I don't understand the point of just buying that, and I'm just going to take it off like 2 seconds later.
Okay. It makes her feel good. Just go along with it. It's not going to kill you.
That's my advice.
Yeah, it's just go along with it. It's
Now he said, what about like sexting, vag, and titty pics? He goes, I'm not into any of that or role playing.
You are so boring, whoever wrote this in.
He's really just, it's like a job.
Fucking prude, and you're so boring. Like, loosen up a little bit. Send a dick pic to your girlfriend.
No, that's a bad idea.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you probably should.
Yeah, you never send any of that shit because it exists forever.
Yeah, he'd be the one person. It would come back to haunt him somehow. So maybe don't do that. But just open your mind a little bit. It sounds like you're in a little sexual box, and maybe you need to.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. And maybe you need to break out of this box.
But Nia, here's the thing.
Explore something different, and
Here's the thing on the dick pic, Nia.
Okay.
People think, okay, I'm going to send a dick pic to you from my phone to your phone. Mm-hmm. Just think of the journey that thing takes. My dick goes to outer space, goes off a satellite, and comes back down. God knows how much shit is between that and that. I mean, how many miles did that thing just travel?
Yeah.
And to think that that's just going to go there. And then if you're on, like, Twitter, they say, like, we want permission to have access to your photos. And
right.
I never say yes. That's like, you can have access to this photo,
Yeah, I mean,
and all of a sudden, somebody,
you have to send
your avatar is your dick pic.
You have to
somebody else's avatar is your dick pic.
You have to send the dick pic, delete the dick pic, and then ask that person to delete the dick pic too.
No, you never send pics.
Just don't send pics.
No.
Period.
What you do is say, "Where are you?" I'll show it to you live. Like in the old days.
In color.
Yeah, like the old days.
No satellite dick pics. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of this guy, I think he should just kind of open his mind a little bit. Like I said, he seems a little prudish. And it's fine. You don't have to like lingerie and all that. But I mean, if your girl's into it and you like her and she likes lingerie, like, hey, what's the problem? Just, like I said, it's not going to
I don't see any problem with, how do you not like lingerie?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. He's boring as fuck.
I'm saying he wants her to show up wearing his basketball shorts.
He's just like, just be naked.
That's what I was saying. I was comparing it to, like, when you cook somebody a meal and they eat it in 2 seconds. You're just like, dude, what the fuck?
Like you do?
Huh? But not in the bedroom.
Oh.
I do wolf down food.
You do.
Huh?
But that's not the only thing you wolf down.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Nia. Why would you say that?
No.
That's disgusting.
You take your time.
A woman in your condition.
In my condition.
In your condition, speaking this way. That's terrible. What if other people were to hear it?
I know. What would they think?
What would they think? All right. That's the podcast here.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh.
No.
Well, you got me here now.
Well, I got to go edit my special. I got to see how my especial, where I trash both Hillary and Trump.
And still get shit for it.
Yeah, no, and then Trump.
You can't win.
No, you can't win, and that's why I don't tell people who to vote for. And but I mean, it is like, it's going on, so I'm gonna fucking talk about it because it's fun. And it's fun to shit on them.
Yeah.
But like, I think this one, people are so upset that their person didn't get in, that now they're looking to blame. So evidently, the Monday Morning Podcast has the ability to sway a presidential election.
Right. Well, you do have a platform. And you have to use it responsibly.
I'm going to start using this platform. I think it's time everybody buys me a new car. This will be good for America. Yeah, it's completely ridiculous. People know who the fuck they're going to vote for.
Yeah. I think it just needs some time to, I don't know. I don't know if anyone's ever going to be fully okay with what just happened, but...
Well, Trump supporters are totally okay.
They're great.
They're totally okay with it.
They feel good right now, yeah. But, oh well.
I'm glad she's fucking gone, but I'm not happy that he's here. There was a lose-lose situation.
It's definitely depressing. No matter how you slice it, it's fucking depressing. But life goes on. It has to.
Yeah, and something? I don't think people should just fucking, like, it doesn't change who you're going to be as a person. Yeah,
I think if anything, you just do what people are saying. You stay here and you pay attention to what's going on and you support the causes that mean a lot to you and just put all your effort behind that. I feel like that's the way to like really make change.
Should you not move to Canada?
And no, they don't want us.
That was another funny thing too, where they all acted like that they were going to be so accepting.
Yeah, Canada doesn't fucking want us. Like, and I like how I feel like it's really arrogant to just be like, oh, I'm just going to move to Canada. Canada's like, oh, okay, do I have any say in this? Like, why do I become the place that you come to after your country made a horrible decision?
I know, but these are some of the great artistic minds on the planet would be gracing their country with their songs and their stand-up comedy. Right. They should be happy.
Right.
They should welcome them with open arms.
Okay, well.
You know the ones I like, the celebrities who are like, tonight my heart cries, but tomorrow I fight. And they get the little fucking muscle thing there. It's like, you probably go to your personal trainer first, I would think. Maybe have your personal chef make you.
I'm a little guilty of that. I put on Twitter that I cried, but I felt hopeful. Because I did. I've never cried after an election before, and I did. But I'm done crying. I'm over crying, and I'm ready to move forward.
There you go. Are you going to...
What?
I'm just picturing somebody crying with their fucking downtown to ocean views. Like, what's going to happen to me? Yeah. Isn't it like midterm elections or something come up in like a year and a half or something like that? And it's going to go the other way?
We'll see what happens in 4 years if he gets reelected or somebody else comes along.
I don't even understand how the process works. I'm just going to keep throwing that out there because it annoys that fucking Clinton supporter.
Can Bernie run again in 4 years, do you think?
No, Bernie cannot win because he's not owned by the same 7 corporations that you need to be owned by. I'm just throwing 7 out there. What
if he comes back and he runs in 4 years against Trump?
I would say the left media will fucking take him out again. But can he win? Can he really win? That's what they did. They fucked him over. And they left us with this polarizing person, and then she fucking lost. And now people are all going, what the fuck happened? And they're blaming podcasts. It's my fault, Nia. It's my fault Trump got in. Also, it's also my fault.
What have you done this time?
This fucking Trump supporter guy goes like, you're sitting there talking about the cost of the wall. How can you be so ignorant about the cost of the wall? He goes, the mobs of people that show. Yeah, that must have been. It's so fucking dumb. I actually think somebody, a Democratic supporter, sent it in. He said every time he said, who's going to pay for the wall, the whole mob would yell, Mexico. Like, how can you be so dumb that you didn't realize that? Now that I'm saying that again, I think I think someone was trolling me there. I can't believe someone was that dumb.
Well, but Trump said that. He was like, we're going to build a wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it.
I know. Who would be dumb enough to think that you can make another country pay for your shit? We're going to build a wall to keep you out, and you're going to pay for it. I was saying that would be like if you didn't like your next door neighbor and you built a wall and then you sent him a bill and you'd be like, make a paper airplane and just throw it back over.
I have no idea how he plans on enforcing that. I guess we'll see.
You know what I do love is the first lady has fake tits.
How do we know they're fake?
I thought they were. They were just too round.
How would you possibly know that?
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
I mean,
I've said that for fucking years.
Yeah, that's true. He has put it out there that he's got
the president has a trophy wife. It's fucking hilarious. He's on his 3rd one.
I mean, I don't care about that.
If you fucking act up, don't even think you're gonna be sitting here picking out plates during my 2nd term, lady.
His wife doesn't even, I don't know, she doesn't even register for me. I mean, yeah, she's beautiful and all that, but I don't really care about.
I like that she plagiarized Michelle Obama's speech, which I think is really related to the millennials. Mm-hmm. The way they curate, shit that they didn't do onto their Facebook pages and YouTube pages and fucking make all this money off of stuff that they didn't really do.
Oh, you mean like sharing of memes and things?
Sharing of stand-up specials and music and videos, shit that they didn't do and they just take it.
Oh.
I thought that was very millennial of her.
Grandpa. Is that what the young people do?
Yeah, that is what they do. Oh, I fucking hate how you just exonerated all of them from stealing all that shit. Those specials cost me a bunch of fucking money, and everybody just takes them. I don't think
anyone should steal your special or download it illegally. Of course, I don't believe that they should do that.
Yeah, you have to understand that you have a platform on this podcast.
Right.
And all of those people that were already doing it anyways, there's now a bunch of others that are now going to do it because you said it was okay. Hey, you know what's weird is the windscreen is red. Maybe I am a Trump supporter.
Oh, maybe so. Maybe that was a subconscious decision on your part.
I like the orange one, but Cleo ate it. It reminded me of fucking ABC's Wild World of Sports with Jim McKay.
Who knew you were an elephant? You seem like a jackass to me. Nothing?
Oh, I didn't get it. Those are the animals, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Democrats are really donkeys?
Yeah.
Why would they pick that?
I don't know. There's a reason behind it. We just haven't Wikipedia Googled it, whatever.
Well, I'm sure someone will tell me why. Preempting it. Hey, you fucking moron. All right, that's the podcast. I'm sorry for Donald Trump. Next time I will try to... I haven't made up my mind who I want to be president yet. The next time. I think I'm already over Trump. Mm-hmm. And I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I hope so. So this doesn't happen again. You fucking...
Election rigger you. All right, that's it. I gotta fucking upload this shit. I gotta go edit my goddamn special. This is gonna be the worst fucking thing ever. All right, go fuck yourselves. I'll talk to you on Thursday.